Hello everyone, this is Crimson Viper 1138. I'm the admin of the Toy Photographer Collective. I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial on how to use some of the photo effects that our group folder has. So if you don't have Photoshop, you can go to Pixlr. That's Pixlr.com, and you can just use the regular one. You can create an account here if you want to save your progress and stuff, but it's not necessary. Just open an image here, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to pull one of my images here, just one of my recent ones. We're just going to use this as a template. This is not designed to be a tutorial on how to get a good looking photo or nothing. We're just going to be using this as a template. So what you want to do is create a new layer by clicking on this up here, and then go to the image, and then I have these of course locally on my machine, but you would be able to download them say through our group Google Drive folder. So if you need access to that, just contact me or the group. So you want to go ahead and just add that layer. Now, of course, right now the black part is what we want to get rid of. So you want to click on that layer, and you want to click on these little three dots up here, and you'll notice there's a blend mode. You want to set that to screen. Now we still have, you know, a bit of a you can kind of see where the photos in there. So what we need to do is adjust this. So go over here to make sure that this layer is selected, not the original image, but the effects layer. And then you can play around with things like the contrast and such to make it blend in a little better. You can you know, even if you want it to be even more, you know, striking, I guess you could duplicate the layer. But then you'll need to go in and do the adjustments too. And you can see if you turn that off and on, it makes it brighter by duplicating it. So the big thing is you want to make sure that you select it as a screen layer, and then go over here into the adjustments of it. We can also take a look at how to do this in Photoshop itself. Now, I highly suggest that you do get the photographer bundle, I believe it's called, with Adobe. You get Photoshop and Lightroom. Lightroom, if you don't know, it's really good for doing some initial adjustments on your photographs and doing some minor effects, although it's getting more powerful with the amount of effects that you can do in Lightroom. But basically I edit my photos in Lightroom, and then I go into Photoshop, and you know, there's certain things you can do in Photoshop that you can't in Lightroom, and vice versa. So you'll have to learn how to use those tools. Like any other tool, it's only as good as the person's knowledge using it and experience. So you just have to be patient with yourself. It's going to take you time to learn these things. But anyway, in Photoshop, it's going to be very similar. You're just going to go over here, and you can create a new layer if you want to. But if you go over here under File, what I do is go under Place, Embedded, and then you find your effects file. So once again, we're just going to go in here and just pull one of these images. And we're going to make it a little larger here. Now it will look heavily pixelated in the little preview you have here. That's perfectly normal. Then hit enter, and you'll notice it goes to that. Now with this, you have to set the layer type right here. So just like we did in Pixlr, you want to go down to screen layer. Now we once again can kind of obviously tell where the effects image is there. Some of these you won't have it as much as this, but what we want to do is go down here. You'll notice this looks like a little circle with half dark, half clear, and that's an adjustment layer that we want to add. So we want to go under here. What I usually do is I go under levels, and then you want to hold down the Alt key on Windows. I'm not sure what it is on Mac. But whatever the Mac alternative is you hold down Alt and you click on the layer, because we only want to, what that does is this little down arrow means we're only adjusting this layer. We don't want to adjust our initial image. And then what I do is you can go up here and play with this little slider here, or sometimes this one. You can just kind of play. You just really have to kind of just, you know, play around with it and kind of get the effect you want. But you know, that's essentially how I do it. Now, if you want to, you can even come in here and add like a Gaussian blur if you want it to be a little out of focus. There's all kinds of things you can do. We'd have to do it on this layer though. Let's see, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then you can see we can make it look like it's, you know, out of focus or something. But there's all kinds of things you can do, but that's initially how you get this into your photo. Now, of course, you want to probably use a photo where you probably want an RGB, like, you know, kind of orangish light shining on your subject, because this, if this were a fire here, his coloring would be different there. But again, I'm just using this as a template photo. So I highly suggest, if you intend on adding some kind of flames, fire and embers and that kind of thing, you might want to put a little RGB light on the subject there. But anyway, that's basically how you do that. Feel free to send me a message through Instagram with any questions you have. You can also email me at crimsonviper1138@gmail.com, and I'll be hopefully seeing it. If I don't, try to flag me on the Instagram, as I'm more active on there, and let me know you sent me an email. But we'll be glad as a group to help you as well. So feel free, if you're in the group, in the chat, reach out to one of us on there as well. But hopefully that helped you figure out how to do that. And again, send me any questions you have.